All right, so today we're going to work on the cat. It's a black cat. So we're going to start. I have here Payne's Gray, Alizarin Crimson, and Ivory Black. So I'm going to mix Payne's Gray with a bit of Ivory Black. This Payne's Gray will give me a little bit of a blue color for the fur. And then Alizarin Crimson. A little bit of Alizarin Crimson, just to change, to give the blue some a nice shade of a little bit of red in there. And let's go over and then just cover this cat, this color.
So mostly black and the Payne's.
Mostly Payne's Gray and less black. Just
okay.
Yeah. So it's just kind of because what we are going to highlight the fur in Payne's with Payne's Gray and white, so we'll see the blue in there. Okay, I'm going to change to a round brush for the head. Okay. Okay, so almost there, almost done. All right. I'm gonna let it dry and then we'll do the blues, the highlights. I'm gonna pause. All right, so now we're going to start the highlight part. I just added white to the Payne's gray and a bit of black in there. Mixed both of them. And I'm just putting white. It's going to dry darker, but I'd rather kind of highlight slowly than highlight too light. I'm going to use a round brush. And I'm just going to look to see where there is a lighter part of the fur and just kind of go over that with this color. Now, if I find by the time, when I start highlighting, if I find that when the color is dry, that it is drying too light, that's okay. I can glaze it back. I can glaze it darker. But I'll wait for it to dry first. So usually you'll see highlights where there is a bump, like a muscle movement. And mostly higher up, right here. This is where the lightest light is, right there. So you see, when I went down, I added a little bit more black, so it doesn't look too light. Most of the light will hit the higher part, and then the more we go down, the darker it's going to look. Let's highlight the tail a bit. One part of the tail, mostly this part. I'm going to give it a bit of furry kind of end, very thin layer of with the brush, round brush, so it doesn't look like it's flat. The edge is harsh right there, so I'm gonna give it kind of a bit of a fluffy look that looks like fur. Let's highlight a little bit this part right here, and I'm going to take a little bit of more of the black into this mixture of black, Payne's gray, and white. I'll go back and adjust the highlights and the darks. I think this should be darker. We'll go back to this. I'll go back to this after. All right. Because these highlights will shape the cat. Let's take more of the black into this mixture. So some of the highlights are more gray and some of them are blue. Oh, jeez. So a tiny bit of white will make a big difference. But again, it's not a big deal if it's too light because we can always glaze the color back on. I'm going to take a little bit of black only and then just kind of soften the edge a bit to blend it into the dark parts. That's only black right now, and just kind of blending, softening the edge where I have the white part. Okay, let's continue now, and then I'll go back and blend more. All right, let's do the ear, the one facing the other side. That's really highlighted, so I'm going to take more white, put it on here, and then just kind of highlight this. I'm going to take more of the black and white. All right. Okay, that's good. Let's highlight the tip of the nose. I'm mixing black, tiny bit of alizarin crimson, white, it's giving me kind of a brownish color. So it's black, alizarin crimson, and white, a little bit of white. All right. Let's take some black, go over this side, and adjust the highlight a bit. You know, it makes a difference where you put your highlights and the shape of the highlight also, because it will shape the cat. Softening all of the edges. And that's the only way. The only way to do it is to wait for it to dry and to see where it needs to be adjusted. Okay, so this part here is a bit too flat. So I'm going to go in with black and alizarin crimson and soften this, change the shape a bit. It's better. It's good. All right, let's kind of change this one here a bit. I'm going to change my brush into a round brush. And then I'm going to add more white in the Payne's gray and black. More white, smaller brush. I'll come here. I can see that there is a bit of more detail in here. Small highlight, more highlight, I should say, right here. And also here. Right in this foot. I'm adding a touch of water in here to make it more transparent, make the paint transparent, and I'm highlighting slowly this part. It's like a glaze right now, some areas. All right, let's highlight top part. Again, nose. And around the eye. This is why it's highlighted here. Okay, also here, where the ear is, this one. There's a bit of red in here, red reflection, and I think that's the brick or the orange around. If this is was taken, it's a photograph. So I'm just adding alizarin crimson on this side, and it will give it a bit of life, you know, just having a bit of red in here is very nice touch. This is alizarin crimson, more like a glaze with Payne's gray and a bit of white, and I'm putting a bit of that alizarin crimson in the black area, mixed with the black mixed with alizarin crimson here. I don't want to make it too light. I like the dark black parts, but I'm adding Alizarin Crimson to the dark part. I think we should be okay. I'm going to pause and then we'll come back. Video. Okay, so now I'm going to take just black, make it into a glaze. Actually, let's put some Payne's gray in it and make it into a glaze. Come here and just glaze back some dark, because you don't want the whole cat to have highlight everywhere. So I was just waiting for the paint to dry so I can adjust where I want the darks to go. That's much better. And that will make this highlighted part look brighter. And let's glaze the bottom part of the tummy right here. Let's glaze this a bit. Actually, yeah. Okay. I'm just adjusting some areas. So I look at the highlight and I try to see what shape the highlight looks like. Does it look like a triangle? Is it too wide? Should I just kind of make it smaller in certain areas? All right, so now because the paint is dry, I can see where I'm glazing certain parts. Okay. All right, it's good. I'm gonna stop. All right, this project is done. We will start a new one next week.